Reddit may become unsearchable, this would actually really hurt me, because legitimately a way that I Google things now is I append Reddit, which I know that some companies actually know that, and they try to hijack the top search results of when you put Reddit on the end and stuff, but those are pretty easy to spot, so it's okay. But Google has become so like unusable that I actually do that, so this will suck. But Reddit is reportedly threatening to block web crawlers, including from search engines like Google and Bing. It cannot reach an agreement with generative AI. If it cannot reach an agreement with generative AI companies to pay for data collected from the site. Sources inside Reddit report that the company believes Reddit can survive without search.
I actually disagree.
Me too.
The amount of organic browsing that I do on Reddit compared to the amount of, I came across this article by searching, I'm on Reddit and this is an interesting thread, I'll read for a bit, okay, goodbye, is like
I don't just
negligible.
go to Reddit. Personally.
Yeah.
I never just go to Reddit.
I almost always end up there by accident.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Reddit, on the one hand, has weathered some serious storms and has demonstrated that they are quite resilient. On the other hand, there's a fine line between resilient and confident and arrogant and hubris. Over 500 news organizations, including the New York Times, Reuters, and the Washington Post, have installed a blocker that prevents their content from being collected and used to train AI. I have bad news for them. That isn't working. So cool. And I guess the difference between those news organizations and Reddit is that Reddit's management is tech savvy enough to know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I can't remember what it's called, and this isn't a topic, but I was reading a discussion the other day about how some sites are like honeypotting junk data in order to like wreck the data sets that some of these AI crawlers have.
Interesting.
So they're creating a bunch of false information so that anything that crawls their stuff without permission is going to have bad results, if that makes sense.
Interesting. So
interesting idea.
I think it's a matter of time before the crawlers figure out how to work around that. I mean, as someone who was recently tasked with creating a crawler,
you're talking about me? Yeah, sure. I don't know.
I mean, would you find a way around that?
Yeah, but then it's like
it's slower.
Yes,
because you have to hide where the traffic is coming from. You have to take a more subversive approach to collecting the data.
This is one of those arms race situations where like you could get a whole bunch of websites that report on the same thing to agree to put like one piece of junk. And then if none of them have agreements with these things and that piece of junk ends up showing up in results, it's like, okay, we got you. Then you can use legal action, stuff like that.
Yeah, but like realistically, a lot of these crawlers are going to be coming out of places like China or Russia, where
it just doesn't matter.
Realistically, what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Yeah.
What you're going to sue someone in China for using your data incorrectly and like, okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, right?
It's been an interesting thing to watch. I'm of the opinion that I don't see any way that you're really going to stop it. Personally,
I don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, if people want to take it, they're going to take it. And this is the same conversation we had before, where I was saying that even though there's like chip restrictions going into China, I think Chinese AI developers are not necessarily at any bigger disadvantage than North American ones, because there's more legal pressure here. So they have like hardware restrictions, and over here we have legal pressure.
Well, they also have their governmental restrictions in terms of like my understanding is that there's restrictions on the outputs of large language models over there. I think you'd have to
be really careful about
that
things.
Don't exist over here in sort of the land of the free as we are familiar with people referring to themselves.
I think there's still some.
Well, there's some that I know have been self-imposed by some of the larger ones, but I also know that there are much smaller LLMs that will output anything.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true.
And I know that you can
self-hosted
access
ones.
those here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. Effectively, there isn't really a limitation on it if
fair
you're willing
enough.
to dig for it.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a developing and sort of an uninteresting conversation for most people.